Okay, so we're back with another episode of Life with Albinism podcast. And we do have two special guests here today. So I'll let them introduce themselves, and I want you to tell us who you are, what your interests are, and, just tell us a little bit about yourself. So we'll start with you, Mom.
All right, my name is Janelle, and I'm Kamar's mom. We're from Syracuse, New York, and I'm a nurse at a local hospital up there. I'm mainly a mom, and I like to go to work.
I love it.
That's it. Hang out a little bit and take care of the kids.
That's up.
Okay.
My name is Kamar, and I do not like going to school, and I do not like homework. I like playing my game, and I do not like my classmates.
You know this going to be public.
Now the only thing is we do want to just speak up a little bit so that the mic can catch everything. So speak a little louder if you can. All right. So you said you're a gamer.
Yeah.
What games do you play?
I play Black Ops. I play Lego Ninjago. I play Warframe. I play Fortnite. That's really it.
Okay. Lucky you ain't say any fighting games. I run that.
This
guy, I do that.
He goes to tournaments and all. He's very serious about that.
Yeah. When it comes to fighting games, I mean, we play Call of Duty too, but
he whacked.
Okay, so now you mentioned you don't like your classmates. Why is that?
Because they always act dramatic. Like when I sit next to them, they move somewhere else, and I'm like, okay.
And what grade are you in?
Yeah, what grade are you in? Third grade? Oh, wow. Third grade. So when they move away from you, like, how does that make you feel?
Makes me feel, I mean, I don't really get an emotion because my mom told me that that's going to be normal and that people are going to do that.
So it doesn't make you emotional when it happens.
No.
And, I think that's important to emphasize because when we just did an episode on being bullied with albinism, and when me and Avery both said, like, it never brought an emotional reaction out of us either. We were never emotional about people treating us different. Everyone thought we was exaggerating or something like that. Everybody was like, there's no way you couldn't have been emotional.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And here you are, 9 years old, saying that it doesn't even make you emotional. You notice that it happens, but it doesn't make you emotional about it. And I think that that's a good thing.
That's a great thing.
Right, it's great because you understand that you're different, but you don't let it bother you to that level,
and you should definitely stay like that.
Definitely.
Like,
it's more of an annoyance. I feel like when I see him, get upset about it for a minute, but then he lets it go. So
and that's how it's gonna be going up. It's gonna bother us real quick, and then we just like, whatever, So we deal with it, but that's real good.
So now, Mom, what about you? Like, when you're out with your son in public, do they do anything happen or do people say anything? Because for me, for example, I remember when I was probably like about your age, I remember one particular time I was in like the car. I was in a car with my mom, and as we're driving down the road, I guess we stopped at like a stoplight or something. And like some guy yelled towards like our window, like, "You in the car with a white boy," or something like that. And my mom just cursed him out right there on the spot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I didn't even have a chance to even react to it mentally or verbally because my mom jumped on it. Right, shut the fuck up, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So it was
that's what you're ready to do when people do that to your child.
So you have experiences like that?
More so when he was a baby. When he was an infant. That was when we got the most stares because it was like people looking at me like I was walking around with someone else's baby.
Yeah,
They just like they keep
staring
and staring, and then can I touch his hair? And I'm like, I don't want you to touch his hair.
You know what's crazy? To this day, I still get, "Can I touch your hair?" Like, it's really
he had real long curly, just out there
when
hair.
I had braids.
It just was. It was completely. They were just so like they couldn't stay away from it. Yeah.
One time. I remember my hair was like all the way up to here or something, and then my dad said that I couldn't go to school because people were going to make fun of me too much.
With your hair?
Yeah.
And that wasn't the case, though. They were just more like, wow.
Yeah.
You know?
Very
But, you know, as I explained to people, and then I just said, you know what, I'm going to have to just explain to him because I'm not going to be with him all the time. You know, I'm like, this is what you tell people. You explain to him what it is, and then any more after that, they're just being ignorant. If they continue to stare and keep, you know, some people are ignorant. They'll just, instead of asking, they just stare. One time my sister went off on somebody. She noticed it, and I didn't. He was a baby, and I was holding him. And some lady just was staring. She cussed him out. She turned around, and the lady turned her head real quick, and she went back to what she was doing. But I try not to be overprotective because I know he has to grow up.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I still am, but
it's gonna happen because my girl is still to this day. I'm grown, and she's still. What is this looking at?
Yeah.
And I'm like, Grandma, chill. Like, Grandma, chill.
And I think it's good that it happens because I think it makes people tougher.
Right.
You know what I mean? So so you're probably going to grow up with very, very tough skin. Yeah. You know, once you get like even older, you're really not going to care what people think because you're going to be like, yo, I heard it before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
As long as you have friends, it's not going like they're going to protect you more than you think. You know what I'm saying? Because if you outgoing and stuff like growing up, when I had friends and someone came at me. Before I said something, my friends be like, "Hey, yo, you got a problem with it?" Right? I ain't even like
get a chance to.
Yeah, right. So, you know what I'm saying? As long as you outgoing and you know, just going, you know, doing your thing, then they gonna have your back no matter what. So
that is so true. Because I remember being in high school, and for some reason, all my friends was always like big, like huge, 6-foot dudes. And they would protect me too. Right. Like so like if somebody joked on me or something like that, one of my friends would step up and be like, "Yo, all right, mess with me then." You know what I mean? And right then and there they would stop. You know what I mean? So you know, you even got friends that'll do that. You know, so
and he's always ready. And I'm always telling him, like, you gotta chill. You gotta be.
He's always
ready. Like,
he's like Avery. Avery's always
he's ready. And I'm like, I would keep him down, like tone him down, like chill. You can't. And he's tall, and you know he gets his height and size from his parents. So he's already bigger than most of the kids in the class. Then he looks different. You know what I'm saying? So it just adds to it. But he's got the right personality.
I'm like that with him. Like when we're in public. And like they come at him, so I'm like, "What's so up?"
Yeah,
what's up? Like,
he'll hit stuff before I ever.
You just out here chilling.
He's on point. I be like, I don't pay no attention.
Right. He be there just zoning. I'm like, hey yo, what happened?
That's exactly what it means.
Did you see what he just did?
Yeah. So now, so tell us, what are some things that you do like and don't like about albinism?
Some things that I do like is that I'm unique.
Same.
And
that too.
and that I'm different. And some other things that I don't like is when I can't see the board because the teachers always yell at me.
Yeah, that was the toughest.
That was the toughest part about school. I can't see the board when they writing notes. Oh man, and it wouldn't matter if I was sitting in the front row. I could have been right there in the front, and it was to the point where teachers thought I was lying if I said, "Hey, I can't read again."
Really can't see.
One time there was a substitute, and I had these teachers gave me a tablet to use. And I took it up and he said, put it back in. And I said, teacher, I can't see. And then he came over here. He was like, I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Yeah, some people just really don't understand
they can't understand.
They don't know the magnitude of your vision.
Yeah.
See, and he has they gave him something called it's like a viewer, but it sits on his desk and it has a camera that brings the screen right to him.
And it has that tray that slides.
Does it have one of those?
It's like a TV, but like with the.
Well, I mean that's old school. They probably. Yeah. Oh, you got that too?
So he's got something like that, and it's been set up for him, and he's been so used to using it, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
But the teachers, sometimes the ones that like now he's in the 3rd grade, they don't realize how skilled he is because he's been using this since he was a 3-year-old, 3-year-old. So when he does things with it, they constantly trying to check him for it, and it bothers me because I'm like, he knows what he needs to do to focus on that screen. You know what I'm saying? He has adapted his vision. I can't say what his vision is, but they tend to get involved when they should.
Yeah,
and I would say like vision in school really is it's really a tough subject because once I did speak up and tell my teachers, like, hey, I have a problem seeing it, then they took things to the extreme. So then it was like when I had a test, they would print out a test that was literally this big. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, come on now. Like, you know what I'm saying? If I had to read from something that big, I don't need to take the test.
Yeah.
It's not my test is like this big.
Right. Yeah. Right. That's what they would give me, and I'm like, that's ridiculous. Like, yes, I need it bigger, but not to that extreme.
Yeah. Does it
you know
help
what I mean?
You being that big? See?
Right, because then it's just a nuisance. It's longer than the desk you sitting on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you're sitting here trying to flip your test like this. You know what I'm saying? So it was so
draw more attention to it.
Right, and then it draws more attention because they got to go get it. And that test ain't sitting in the classroom. The teacher got to go out the room, go to the special room, and come back and get it. And then she's coming in there with the test like this, giving it to you. So it's really, really embarrassing. Yeah. Really embarrassing. Yeah. So that was the issue that I had. It's like once I told the teachers, like, hey, I need something bigger, they would get it way too big. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or if you tell them, like, oh, I might need a magnifying glass, they'll get you this huge.
Yeah. The one they sent him with was huge. Yeah, light on it.
Right. You know what I'm saying? They look like a CCTV.
Yeah, like.
And you're just like, yo, come on. Like, I can't. Like,
I just want a little bit, not too much.
So one thing that was very helpful for me with that was having a note taker. So you could see for me, they had it in college. I don't know if they're going to have it in elementary school. But you should definitely ask the teacher if you could have a note taker. And it will be an actual person that will sit in the classroom and write down the notes and then give you a copy of it at the end of the day. I'm pretty sure if you speak to like your guidance counselor or something like that, they should definitely have something like that. Yeah. So that's what I had to use because it was way too hard for me to see the board.
Oh, okay.
You know. So you're in a regular elementary school, or did they like try to sanction you in a class with other people with vision problems?
He's in regular.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
He's in a regular class.
They had me all
separated.
Yeah,
really?
They had me with like, handicapped people, blind people, and
that's another
crippled people.
But no lie, we're not even joking though. Yeah. For me personally, when I was in elementary school, they put me in a special ed school that was specifically for blind people.
Yeah. Oh wow!
So not only, but like you said, it was like crippled, handicapped, mentally retarded, people like that. So I'm like literally in a classroom with 6 people. And they all are to the farthest extreme
of handicap.
Of handicap.
And you're like,
I was like,
I'm really smart. Like,
right.
I'm not handicapped.
I started thinking something was wrong with me. Like,
right, like, why am I in this classroom?
Maybe my mom didn't
tell me something. Right? Somebody lied to me.
Right. It wasn't until high school where I crossed over the mainstream. Middle school when I crossed over the mainstream. So in elementary school, when I was in like your age. That's how they had me sanctioned off into a classroom with like only handicapped people. So it was like completely they don't know how to match it up.
Yeah. And my grandma, she was not feeling. She was like, take him out of this class.
Right.
He not retarded. He ain't stupid.
That's how my mom was too. Like, yo, get him out of this class.
Yeah.
When when he first started getting, ready to go to school, they had him in a program. They had to get him picked up on a little bus and everything, and he was going to the school. Yeah. It was a regular pre-K, but since he had a disability, they came and got him.
On a short
bus. And I'm like,
and they come straight to your door.
To the door, you gotta put him on the bus and get him off, and I'm like, but I could drop him off, but then if you're gonna give him a free ride, I don't have to worry about it. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wow. But I thought
oh wow. His mom's supposed to set him up with a short bus.
But I'm like, okay, they gonna take him to school, but he was doing so well in school that the teachers were like, all right, we know he has a vision problem, but now we making stuff up to keep him in this program. Certain things he's just blowing past, and he really doesn't need all of this extra help that he get. And it just kind of slowly dwindled off. So now he's in a regular class, and he has, assistive devices. But he doesn't.
Now, how were you able to do that so quickly? Because it took for me up until middle school to get crossed over back into mainstream. How did you do it for your son so quickly?
They did it. I have to say, the school system, they evaluated him, and he had a really good vision teacher, or they had a really good evaluation. They came to the house when he was probably, I'd say, 2.
Is this the Lighthouse? Have you heard of it?
Mm-mm. Okay. No, I'm trying to think of the name of the program, but
it was within the school.
No, it was within the county. It was within our county. Okay. Originally, once I took him for his eye doctor's appointment, he was like 6 weeks old, and they deemed him legally blind due to albinism. Regardless of if they knew he could see or not, but when they did that, he started getting all those different services, and they would contact me about different stuff that I could, to get him evaluated. And they would come to the house. He had a vision teacher that came to the house once a week when he was very little, and she did all kinds of activities with him, and then she would give her suggestions to the district. And as soon as he was eligible or old enough to go to school, I think he was about 4 when he first started. Maybe 4. He went to pre-K so many different times, but they sent him in early just so he could keep getting that extra attention, and it did help. It definitely helped.
That's good.
Yeah.
But he never was sectioned off. It just he had assistants in class, but they never had him